Good morning, students. Hope you all doing well. I, Dinesh Rawat, your subject faculty. Welcome you all. The subject name is research methodology, and the topic of this lecture is sampling. So, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about random sampling, different types of random sampling. Now, we would discuss about non-random sampling. So, let's start. So, these are the books from where the PPT content has been taken. So, first one is Business Research Method by Cooper and Schindler. Second is Business Research Method by Zygmunt, Babin, Carr, and Griffin. Third is Marketing Research and Applied Approach by Naresh K. Malhotra and David F. Barks. So sampling method, we have discussed that there are two types of sampling method. One is random, where every unit has the same probability of getting selected into the sample. And second is non-random, where every unit does not have an equal probability of getting selected into the sample. So random sampling, we have discussed 5 types of sampling methods: simple random, stratified, systematic random, cluster random, and multi-stage. Now we would discuss non-random sampling, where we would discuss 4 types of sampling method: convenience, judgment, which is also known as purposive, quota, and snowball sampling. So first, convenience sampling. As the name suggests, the respondents are selected as per the convenience of the researcher. So in convenience sampling, elements for the sample are selected for the convenience of the researcher. The researcher typically choose elements that are readily available nearby or willing to participate. For example, a convenience sampling of homes for door-to-door interviews might include houses where people are at home, houses with no dogs, houses near the street, first floor apartments, houses with friendly people. So in this example, you can see, as per the convenience of the researcher would select those candidates whom he feel that it is convenient to collect data from them. So if a research firm is located in a mall, let's suppose, and a convenience sampling might be selected by interviewing only shoppers who pass the shop or look friendly. So as per the convenience. Second is judgment, which is also known as purposive sometimes. So judgment is as per the judgment of the researcher. So judgment sampling occurs when elements selected for the sample are chosen by the judgment of the researcher. So the researcher feels that the respondent, a particular respondent, is suitable for his or her study. So researcher often believe they can obtain a representative sample. Representative sample means that it is a representative of the entire population. The conclusion which the researcher would get from that sample would be, the representative of entire population. So when the researcher believe that they can obtain representative sample by using sound judgment, which will result in saving time and money. Sometimes ethical professional researcher might believe they can select a more representative sample than the random process. So when a researcher feels that his judgment would be correct rather than choosing a random sample, so then judgment sampling is used. The sampling error cannot be determined objectively because probabilities are based on non-random selection. So sampling error you cannot determine in case of this sampling. Other problems are associated with judgment sampling. The researcher tends to make errors of judgment in one direction. These systematic errors leads to what are called biases. So obviously it can lead to bias. Biasness would be there in the data. Quota sampling. So quota sampling is very much similar to stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling, in stratified, we talked about that the entire population is divided into strata. So strata could be on the basis of demographic, like gender, socioeconomic status. So it is quota is very much similar to stratified, but it is non-random. So in quota, there are certain population subclasses such as age group, gender, geographic region are used as strata. However, instead of randomly sampling from each stratum, the researcher uses a non-random sampling. So जो आपने strata बनाया, let's suppose gender के basis पे male female, but जो male और female है उसमें से आप random sampling नहीं करेंगे, you would use non-random sampling. So it is very much similar. Strata are made in this quota sampling, but non-random sampling is used when you take data from each strata. The researcher uses a non-random sampling method to gather data from one stratum until the desired quota of sample is filled. So in quota sampling, an interviewer would begin by asking a filter question. Generally, you have a filter question in quota sampling. If the respondent represents a subclass whose quota has been filled, the interviewer would terminate the interview. So particular जो strata है, उसमें से अगर जो एज पर दी रिसर्चर, अगर रिसर्चर n नंबर ऑफ सैंपल्स लेना चाहता है उस पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रेटा से, सो जैसे ही वो कंप्लीट हो जाएगा देन द रिसर्चर वुड स्टॉप द इंटरव्यू. So quota sampling can be useful if no frame is available. Frame sampling frame is what जो आप लिस्ट बनाते हैं फ्रॉम द एंटायर पॉपुलेशन. सो जनरली जब आपके पास वो फ्रेम नहीं होता है, व्हेन यू डू नॉट हैव द फ्रेम विद यू, सैम्पलिंग फ्रेम, देन कोटा सैम्पलिंग कैन बी यूज्ड. For example, suppose a researcher want to stratify the population into owners of different types of cars, but fails to find any list of Toyota van owners. सो टोयोटा वैन ओनर्स के जो ओनर्स हैं उनको अगर फाइंड आउट करना है किसी रिसर्चर ने, तो एक फिल्टर क्वेश्चन रिसर्चर लगाएगा क्वेश्चनर में. थ्रू कोटा सैम्पलिंग द रिसर्चर वुड प्रोसीड बाय इंटरव्यूइंग ऑल द कार ओनर्स एंड कास्टिंग आउट नॉन टोयोटा वैन ओनर्स. सो फिल्टर क्वेश्चन में अगर नॉन टोयोटा ओनर नहीं है देन ही वुड फिल्टर आउट एंड until the quota of Toyota van owners is filled. So quota is very much similar to stratified. The difference is when the respondents are selected from each strata, non-random sampling is used, and generally it is used in case of when you do not have sampling frame with you. And the last one is snowball sampling. Snowball, it is based on the referral. So when you take referral from one respondent, suppose one respondent tells you that you can collect data from a particular respondent, so referral is there, then that type of sampling method is called snowball sampling. So survey subjects are selected based on referral from other survey respondents. So let's suppose if you are getting the data filled from foreigners living in India. So let's suppose you have Japanese nationals who are living in India. So one Japanese respondent would tell you, you can find other one, or he can give you the reference of other Japanese living in India, and you can get the data filled from that other Japanese. So this is an example of snowball sampling. So these were the few types of sampling method which we have covered under non-random sampling. So first one is convenience sampling, as per your convenience, as per the convenience of the researcher. Judgment, as per the judgment of the researcher. Quota sampling, very much similar to stratified, but when you collect data from each strata, non-random sampling is used. It is generally used when you do not have frame with you. Snowball sampling is referral. It is based on referral. So these are some of the citation which talks about what kind of sampling is best. So in reality, non-probability sampling, that is called non-random sampling, is more frequently employed and are more likely appropriate in field research, fieldwork research. Studies with humans as subjects are less likely to involve random samples. A carefully controlled non-probability sampling can provide valid and meaningful results. So zaruri nahi hai you have to use probability sampling. So there are many researchers who support use of non-probability sampling. So when selecting probability sampling and its technique, it is important to note that it only works when the sampling frame is available. So when you talk about probability, when you have sampling frame, then you can use probability. So one more researcher have long argued that representativeness is inappropriate when the goal of research is rigorous theory testing. A non-probability sample is deemed more fitting when the purpose is to test the proposed theoretical assumptions. So these were few of the literature which you can use when you are using in favor of non-probability sampling. So we have covered different types of non-random sampling in this lecture, and few citation or few research work which supports use of non-random sampling. So that is all for today. Thank you.